Okay, welcome back to me talking in my garage about an old Mitsubishi. I just want to give a recap on the last video and give an update of where we're at now and where I hope to be at the end of this video. Let's do it.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, yeah, so in the last video I showed you the chassis leg that had been welded in. I have now grinded back all of the welds, put the zinc primer on, and also put a seam sealer. So it's looking mighty schmick now, and there is no more rust, and hopefully never any more rust again. Where we're at the moment is all of the arches have now got the zinc primer and seam sealer on, so that is really good to have that done. And underneath the car, I would say that like 70% of it is done with zinc primer and grinded back. I've got to go over a few places here with the zinc primer, but yeah, this area up in here where the rear prop shaft runs was an absolute nightmare to grind back, so I'm so stoked to have that done. And yeah, obviously we still need to do the seam sealer here, and I need to do the seam sealer on the rear of the car as well. But tonight I really want to finish the grinding. So this is the last area now that has to be grinded back. So this side of the car and this side of the chassis rail underneath it. So yeah, quite a bit of work to do because I cannot wait to be done with this. I am so sick of it. It's just like the mess it has made in here. Like, look at this. Like the dust, it's just left everywhere. My whole garage is just filled with it. I'm gonna have to like hose it out when I'm done with all this. So I really want to be done with it tonight. I've got a few hours to work on it. This area here is quite flat, so hopefully I can just use those poly discs and just kind of get it done, but it's going to make a huge mess and a lot of noise. But let's just get it done. Yeah, once I finish with that, then zinc primer that area and put on the seam sealer. What I will do actually is talk about the kit that I got from SR Auto Source, which a few people have been asking about. So yeah, if you're on social media, then you probably would have seen the SR Auto Source guys. They're based in the UK. They do fantastic work with R32s, R33s, R34s, restoring them, basically bringing them back from the dead. This is the SR Auto Source Home Underside Restoration Kit that I bought. This is the guide guiding you through everything. The first thing you're going to want to do is what I've been doing, and that's grinding back the whole underside of your car. That is without a doubt the hardest part of this, and it's going to take up the most time, and it's going to probably kill you. With mine, I would definitely recommend to do it on the rotisserie. I should have done this car when I had the engine and everything out of it. I should have done that all at once, but yeah, I didn't. So unfortunately the engine and the gearbox and the transfer case is in this car, so I couldn't really put it on a rotisserie. It wouldn't work very well. So yeah, the car's on jack stands and I've been grinding, you know, while I'm on my back. Not ideal. Either have it on the lift or on the rotisserie. Much easier with grinding it back. So once you've grinded it back, I mean, depending how fast you are, the problem I had, I would grind it back and I wouldn't come to it for a few days, and then you'd find you'd have this like flash rusting happening underneath there. So I kind of had to work in a process of grinding it back and then putting the zinc primer on it so it stopped that flash rusting. But depending on the time and how you want to do things, you know, you could work really fast and grind completely underneath it and then go on to the next process, which is rust converter. So anywhere you had rust and you've grinded back, put the rust converter on. You don't need too much of this. Surprisingly, on mine, I've hardly used anything at all. This thing is pretty much still full, but this has worked fantastic. The next process is this zinc primer that it comes with. This is 2.5 liters. It is more than enough for the Evo. I think I've probably got like a quarter left, and I've only got a little bit more. Actually, no, I've probably got like a little bit less than half. left on the car, and I've only got that side that I showed you before left to do. This stuff is fantastic. You can see that the color it leaves and it sticks like crazy. The next process is seam sealer, which is what I have here, this wayside adhesives seam sealer, which has worked really well. Have a look on this arch, you can see it there. I've tried to do it as neat as possible. But yeah, the kit actually comes with a whole bunch of brushes and everything as well. So you just need a small brush just to do all of your seams. And that's, yeah. And that's pretty much the spot where I'm up to at the moment, but I'll continue on telling you about what is next. The kit actually comes with this underside coating gun, which I will have to get a compressor to use. And then you've got like your stone chip, Master Guard stone chip ones. So that's going to be the next step I'm going to be spraying on there. Then step after that, you've got the final coat, which I've done, and that's in white. That'll be the next process I got on there. The very last step will be the cavity wax, which will spray into all of the rails and holes and everywhere and just fill it up. So hopefully this car will never ever rust again. So yeah, that's basically the kit. They'll also email you out the guide and everything, which is actually very detailed, and it's got pictures and everything as well on what to do. The other thing it comes with is gloves, paint brushes, which I've kind of used up. I've had to buy a few more, but the brushes that it come with is, you know, you could probably use them for the whole thing. Tape as well, so yeah, everything you possibly need to do this process. Anyway, that's that. I am going to get to grinding. I will come back to you tonight and let you know if I finish this. We've got some daylight. It's getting into August now, so we're running out of time and warm weather, so I need to start getting this done. So let's start grinding. Okay, well, the seam sealer is all done on this car. Yep, so that's a big step done. So, first step was grinding, second step was the zinc primer, and now a seam sealer. So next job is going to be the stone chip guard, and using this gun. So we've got to get a compressor and hook this up. Okay, we are back, and it's late on a Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be quick because I've got a bit of work to do tonight. Compressor is here. We have the gun, we have our stone chip in some warm water, and we are going to be applying that to the bottom of the car, and hopefully I can do this tonight. So I'm going to get started because I really want to get this done, and there is a spider on the lens. Okay, let's do this. Go. Okay, that's one arch done. It's been a little bit hard to adjust the pressure, but it's gone. And this, and yeah, you just kind of got to take your time with it. I'm trying not to rush, but I'm amazed. I've already kind of done the arch and then underneath here, and I've used up one of these bottles already. So yeah, but I'm going to keep on going underneath the car now, and that is not easy. I'm going to try and not make a mess. Super stoked. I never thought I'd get to this point in this whole process. This is unbelievable. Like, yeah, I don't know. I expected to have this done by like June or something. It's now September, but we're making really good progress. This is like probably the hardest thing that was left. The next process we're going to be doing is painting it with the white, with the overcoat, and then it's going to come up. It's going to look amazing. So yeah, we'll meet you back for that. So this stuff is like painting with milk. It's really runny. I hope it's okay that like I haven't left it too long or something, but I've mixed it all up and it seems okay. But it's definitely drying, so it dries a lot like the zinc primer. So I have to be careful that there's no runs in this, otherwise they're going to show and it's going to look like garbage because it dries so fast. So very much like the zinc primer. So I think what I'll do is I'll do a very light coat now, and then I'll go over it with a second coat tomorrow. Just let it dry for about 24 hours. So yeah, one light coat, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, yeah, once again, I've just been really lazy with not filming anything. So anyway, I have made a lot of progress on this car. Basically, it's almost done. I am going to lay one more coat on tonight, but I'm basically empty. There's like only about this much left. I was a bit worried that it wouldn't be enough to coat it, but unbelievably it was. So yeah, but anyway, it's kind of dark now, so I'm going to finish this layer and then I'm going to come back on Sunday and I'll show you the final result. Sorry, Sunday is in 2 days. And then I'm going to put the cavity wax in then, and then this part of the mission is complete.
This is lit.
Okay, so we are here back with the Evo. It's beautiful weather. Let's take a look and have a bit of a chat about the process of what I've just gone through with this underbody restoration drama. It's done now. I started this job in March. It's now September. So what's that, like, almost 7 months this has taken me from the very start of removing everything from underneath the car to the biggest job was grinding it all back. That was just months of work, hours and hours. I don't know how many hours it was. I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 50, 60, maybe more hours of solid grinding it back to bare metal. But it's coming looking out great, so let's have a look at it right now. So yeah, final coat is on. This is one of the arches. Looking really good. And then as we see underneath the car as well, it's just coming out looking so good. It's gonna be like, do I even want to drive this car? Because as soon as I drive it, it's just going to get dirty. But yeah, it is solidly protected now. This stuff as well, like I found a few spots where I just tried to hit it at a screwdriver, you know, just trying to see how hard it is. And it's like solid. It's just like a real like shell on top of the metal now. So nothing is going to penetrate that at all. Like I had a screwdriver just trying to scratch it off and it would not even go through this top layer. It's not easy to put down that white either. It's a very wet paint, so it's very hard to use upside down. It just drips down on top of you and drips all over the brush. So another reason why I would not recommend to do this with the current jack stands, because you're painting upside down, doesn't work so good. But yeah, it goes on, it starts to dry quite quickly, so it's very hard to spread as well. But once it dries, it's like solid. Let's have a look on the other side. Yeah. This one all up underneath. And I'll look at the front guards. Yeah. Looking so good. And then underneath here. So, yeah. I am just absolutely shocked right now that I'm actually at this point. I never thought I'd actually get to this point. It was very much a rush to get this done before the cold weather set in, because otherwise it just wouldn't work very well painting when it's like -degrees. So we're done. The final thing now is just to put on the cavity wax. I'm going to do that later, but this job is finished, so stoked. I'll show you a few other things that we have done. I have done in the meantime that I haven't filmed. I never film anything. Sorry, when I get a chance to do work, I'm just working. I'm not filming. But I'm trying to document everything as much as I can. There's the fuel tank is done in a Raptor liner, which came out looking fantastic. And it's ready to go. Kind of a shame these old things are on here. I wish I got to powder coat these, but never got a chance. I might replace the nuts and stuff on them if I get time, but this is all ready to go back in. That's good. There's a shield underneath here too. That's all done in a Raptor liner as well. It's like bright today. There's also this exhaust shield, which I did in a Raptor liner too. It sits above the exhaust in the front of the car. Looking good. We've got new rear dust shields for the brakes, new rear wheel bearings, genuine Mitsubishi. I'll show you something. If you remember, I drove the car once last year. This was a brand new wheel bearing that only drove from here to Oslo and back. And that's like, I don't know, maybe just 200 kilometers, if that. It was winter that day, it was snowing, and I guess I salted the roads. But yeah, brand new wheel bearing. This is non-genuine though, so maybe that's a reason, but yeah. One drive and she's rusted to shite, but they should be usable again. Be all good. The boot is just full of spare wheels, nuts and bolts and more shields. I did a lot of powder coating as well. All the shields have all been powder coated. The control arms have all been powder coated as well. I can show you in the car. I'll go over this more in the next video, but you get an idea. Knuckles, all powder coated. This subframe assembly is powder coated as well. And yeah, but one of the coolest things I'll show you is the brake calipers. So if you remember, I actually painted these myself last year in a red for VHC paint, and it did not last at all. So I had these done professionally, all powder coated in yellow with the stickers and everything, and they are going to look so good on the car. And all rebuilt with fresh seals and everything too. All 4 of them wrapped in bubble wrap. So yeah, stoked with that. So yeah, that's basically it. What more can I say, really? I want to send a massive shout out to SR Auto Bodies in the UK for this kit and their assistance with everything here. I was sending messages all the time asking for advice on how to do things, what to do next. I mentioned maybe that thought that I was going to be short of paint, but luckily I wasn't, and they said they were going to mix some up for me and get it over to me. Thankfully didn't need that. So yeah, massive shout out to those guys. They're fantastic. If you're ever looking at doing this job, no matter what the car is, those guys are the people to speak to, and they do the full kit and it's everything you need. So, and I'm about to get started on doing the cavity wax now, which is from them. And then this job is done. So we can finish the video off there. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Not too much detail like always in my videos, just me talking and yeah, not much else. Maybe next time. But the next job, we'll be putting everything back together, and it's starting to get cold here now, so we're coming into winter, so that's going to be fun. So it's kind of a race to get it done before then. Anyway, thanks for watching, and keep up to date with my social medias and buy some coloring books. All right, bye.